Why is my Apple ID email address invalid?
Hey there! Welcome to this video where we'll discuss the possible reasons why your Apple ID email address might be considered invalid. Having an invalid email address can be frustrating, especially when you're trying to access your Apple ID account or use Apple services. But don't worry, we'll explore some common causes and potential solutions to help you resolve this issue. So let's dive in.
Incorrectly entered email address.
One possible reason for an invalid Apple ID email address is that you might have entered it incorrectly. Email addresses can be tricky, and a small typo or misspelling can result in an invalid email. Make sure to double-check the email address you provided when creating your Apple ID or updating your account details. Pay close attention to spelling, capitalization, and any special characters. Even a misplaced dot or missing letter can render your email invalid.
Non-existent email domain.
Another reason for an invalid Apple ID email address could be that the email domain doesn't exist. The domain is the part of the email address that comes after the @ symbol. It represents the organization or service hosting the email accounts. Sometimes, if you accidentally enter a domain that doesn't exist, your email address will be considered invalid. Ensure that you've entered the correct domain associated with your email provider or service.
Email account inactivity or closure.
If you're certain that your email address is correct and the domain is valid, another possibility is that your email account might be inactive or closed. Email providers often deactivate or delete accounts that haven't been used for an extended period. If your email account has been inactive for a while or if you closed it, this could lead to your Apple ID email address being considered invalid. Contact your email service provider to check the status of your account and reactivate it if necessary.
Apple ID email already in use.
Apple requires unique email addresses for each Apple ID account. If you're receiving an invalid email address message, it's possible that someone else has already registered the same email address as their Apple ID. In this case, you won't be able to use that specific email address for your Apple ID. Consider using a different email address to create your Apple ID or updating your existing Apple ID with an alternative email.
Email service restriction.
Certain email service providers might have restrictions or limitations that prevent their email addresses from being used for Apple IDs. These restrictions could be due to security measures, privacy policies, or technical limitations imposed by the email provider. If you're using an email address from such a provider, it's possible that Apple's system recognizes it as invalid. In this case, try using a different email address from a supported provider to create or update your Apple ID. And there you have it. We've explored some common reasons why your Apple ID email address might be considered invalid. Remember to double-check for any typos or misspellings, ensure the email domain exists, and verify the status of your email account. If necessary, consider using a different email address that is unique, active, and supported by Apple. Hopefully, these tips will help you resolve the issue and regain access to your Apple ID account. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.